Okay, so with this video, we walk you through how the online sales and inventory software works. So this is when we log in. Right after we log in, this is the interface that you get. With this, you can see your total purchase, total sales, your purchases due, and then your invoice due as well. And then when you come down over here, you can select the location. So if you want a specific location, you select it, and then the data that it gives you will be for that particular location. But in this case, we are doing it for all of them, so we leave it there. You can scroll down, and then you see the chart here, and then you have your product stock alert as well, just in case maybe you have some products that are currently out of stock or low in stock. It will show here. Okay, so let's go to the menu. We have products, we have sales, we have purchases, we have stock transfers, stock adjustments, contact, user management, expense, payment account, and then report one by one, and then we go through it. So let's start with products. You have your list products and then add products. So we'll go to the add product. Okay, so to add a product, you have to add the product name and then the SKU. The SKU is just the code that you have for your product. So maybe if it's maybe you can do it maybe TH and then a number just to generate it. But if already you already have a barcode on the product, then you can use your barcode scanner to just scan it, and then it will automatically upload it will automatically enter here you select your units. If it's in pieces, if it's in packs, if it's in boxes, you select that, and then you select your subunits. If you have any subunits, you select your brand, your category, as in the product category, if you have any subcategories as well. And over here too, you can select the locations. So some locations, maybe if you have multiple shops, one shop might have a product there that is not in the other shop. So with this, you can select the location for that particular product. So let's say maybe you have products that have been sold in one particular location, then you can just select that particular location. If it's multiple locations, then you can select all the locations that have that particular product. You can come down and then add your product description. You upload your product image. If you have any brochure, you can do that. And then when you come down, so here you select if you have any inclusive or exclusive tax, you select that. And then you can come and enter your purchase price, and then your profit margin, and then your selling price. So, and then after that, you can either save it and then add a price group, or you save and add opening stock. So let's say an opening stock is the initial stock of the product that you are starting the software with. And then right after that, then you can start entering your stock from the purchase side. So maybe you purchase something from your supplier. You can use the purchase from supplier side to enter your products, and then the stock gets added to the main stock at the location that you select, and then we can save it. So after entering the product, you just save it, and that's it. So you can come to print labels as well, and at print labels you can print either the barcodes or you can print price labels for your products, or both. So let's say I want to print. Okay, so with this, I'm saying maybe I'm printing 20 labels. Select it. Then you select the type of paper that you want to use. So let's say preview it. Okay, so this is how it looks like. You can print your, if you have a barcode or a label printer or a barcode printer, you can use that to print, and then so you print it out, and then you can stick it on your products, and then you can use the barcode scanner to scan anytime you're selling any of the products, and then it will record that as a sale as well. So that's fine. So let's continue. You can have product variations as well. So a variation is maybe so you can use sizes as variation or colors. So let's say you have products and then you have multiple variations as in sizes or colors, or you can enter all those here, and then when you're adding the product, you select it as well. So that can be done. You can import your products. If maybe you have it in an Excel sheet, you can import it. Then you can import your opening stock too for the products, and then you can create selling price groups. So sometimes some products have maybe when you're selling a certain product in dozens, it has a certain price. When you're selling it in the cartons, it has a certain price. So you can create all those price groups and then have them in the system to help you make your sales. The price group, you come to the units section where you enter all your units. So if you have it in pieces, boxes, dozens, kilos, and all that, you can enter those as your unit prices, as your units there. Then you can come to categories as well, where you enter all your product categories. And these are the sample ones that we've entered already, but you can enter yours as well. And if you have brands or any warranties, you can enter them using this side. Okay, so let's go to sales. Now under sales, you can add a sale. You can either use the POS interface or you can use this manual, this other simple interface as well. So let's say you are selling something to somebody, you can just enter the product. So you can just start entering the product, and then it will pop up. You can select the quantity, and then it will give you the total that you are selling. And then here you can select the payment terms. If maybe they are either paying it today or they are going to pay it over a period of time, you can decide that. Then you can select the status. So some sales could be in the form of a pro forma. So when you are sending an invoice, and then when it's paid, it becomes a receipt. So with that, you select pro forma. If it's a quotation you're selecting, you are sending, you select that. And then if it's a draft that you are making, you can select that as well. And then if it's a final, it's a main sale, then you can select final. Yeah, so with the pro forma, when you select that and then you enter it, it saves it as a draft. Now with the draft, anytime the customer is coming back to come and make a payment for the pro forma, or you are recording payment for the pro forma, then that's when you make payment. It records it into the system, and then it changes the status from pro forma to final, making it a sale. So then it moves from being just an invoice or a pro forma invoice to a sale, and then it generates a receipt for you. Okay, so but here, if you have any discounts, you can enter it here. And then if you have any shipping charges or any shipping status, you can do that here. So for example, maybe you've done the pro forma invoice and everything, and then you have your products packed, or maybe just ordered, but then it hasn't been packed or even shipped. So in each stage of the transaction, you can change the status of the shipping. So if it's just ordered, that means you received an order. So you can select that and then you save it. And then when it's packed, you come and change it to packed. If you've shipped it to, fine. When it's delivered, that's fine. If it's cancelled to, you just save it and then you save it as cancelled. Okay. So you can add a quotation here. It's a similar interface, and then you can do your shipments, your discounts, and then you can import sales as well from any Excel file that you have. Okay, so you come to purchases. Now purchase is when you're purchasing something from your supplier. So in that case, you need to have your supplier names and everything entered into the system, and then you can use that section to import or your you can use the section to add. So let's say add purchase. And then when you're buying from your supplier, you just use that section to buy your product from your supplier. So you can select the supplier. In this case, let me just enter. Okay, so it's a China supplier. Then where the the stock you are receiving from your supplier is going. So usually it goes to the main warehouse, and then if you have any payment terms, you enter those, and then here's the purchase status. If you've received it, if it's pending, or if it's ordered. So let's say if you just ordered it, you select ordered, and then if you received it, to say you change the status to received. Then you can select the products, all the products that you are buying from the supplier. So if that particular supplier sells something that's okay, so let's say we are buying a TV, a shirt, so let's say a t-shirt. Okay, so with this, you can add, if you have any other expenses, you can enter them there, and then you act, if there's a payment that you made for it, you can enter that there. And then if it's an account that you want to use, you want to link to the particular transaction, you can select it there. And then the payment method, so if you paid by cash, check, by bank, or whatever, mobile money, or whichever option, you can use that as well. And then you save it. So let's say, for example, the initial status was purchased, ordered, and then you receive your product, and you can come and just edit it and change it from purchased to delivered or received. Okay, so you received. And then in case you are returning you are returning to, you can use this the same side to indicate that you've returned the product. And you can come to stock transfers, and this is where you transfer stock from one location to the other. So let's say you are transferring stock from one warehouse to your shop, or from one warehouse to the other, or from one shop to the other. You can use this side to transfer. So usually it's pending, in transit, or completed. That's the status that you can use for your stock transfers. And so that's from location and then to location. So maybe I'm transferring from main warehouse to the shop, and then you come and enter all the products that you are transferring to the shop. So yeah, I'm transferring a TV, and then so soap, maybe a Milo and soap. Enter the quantity that I'm sending to that side. Then you just save it, and then it will be transferred from one location to the other. Okay. And then you can make stock adjustments. So if, let's say, for example, maybe you have you have your stock there, but then maybe some items got broken, or there were some issues that came up that reduced the stock. You can make adjustments over here by going to add stock adjustments. And then you select the location, you select the products that you're going to make the adjustments for. So let's see, so these are the products I'm making adjustments for. Then you make the adjustments. Then you can enter the reason for the product adjustment. So you ask if it's a normal adjustment type. That means it's going to subtract it by a certain number. And then you type the reason there as well. So maybe it got broken, or it was returned or something. You can just do that, and then you save it. And then you come to contacts. So for contacts, that's where you enter your suppliers, your customers. If you have certain customer groups, you can do that. You can import contacts as well. And then for the user management, that's where you create your users and then your roles. So let's say you have your shop manager, you have your warehouse manager, you have your shopkeeper and all that. So this is where you create all those accounts. You give them, you assign roles to them. So let's say can add a user by clicking on add user. Then here you type the person's name. Then you give them a username and password, and then you come here. So these are the roles that are already in the system. But then you can also add your own roles. It depends on what your business requires. So, and then you assign them to a location. So maybe if it's an admin a sub admin that you are creating, maybe they can have access to all of it. Maybe if it's the shop or shops manager, they can also have access to all the locations. But if it's a cashier and it's or a shopkeeper, and that person manages just one shop, then you create a user and then you assign them to that particular shop, and then the role you decide what they can have access to. So let's say after all this, you just save it, and then to create that. So here you can see the option it gives. It allows you to. So let's say, for example, supplier, if they can view all supplier, or they can view the suppliers that they added. So here like this, you can view all customer or view own customer. So the own customers may be customers that they have served. So they can only have access to that, and then that's it. So over here you can determine what they can have access. So the checked ones are the ones that they have access to, and the unchecked ones are the ones that they don't have access to. So you can decide what they can do or what they can't do in the system. Okay. Then here you come to the expense. So you can add expense categories, and then you add an expense. Also, then you come to your accounts. So this is where you have your accounts. Maybe you have separate accounts to do certain transactions. Maybe one for making your purchases, one for your sales. All of those are here, and then you can link them to other processes like making a sale and making a purchase and all that. And then you come to your reports as well. So here you can get your balance sheet, your trial balance, your cash flow, and your payment account reports. You can have other reports like your profit and loss reports, your product purchase reports, your sales reports, and a lot more reports like item reports, your purchase and sale. If you have any trending product, you can tell from here. You have your tax reports, and then your activity log as well, as in what each user was doing within a certain period of time. You can have access to all of those in the system. And then we come to the POS interface. So this is where you can make a sale, and then you generate a receipt. So if you have a barcode scanner, you can just scan the product and it will appear here. And if you want to do it manually, you can just start typing the name of the product. So we can try one. The TV. So in this case, I'm selling this. I'm selling 2 of those. I just go to proceed to payments. I select the payment method. If it's by mobile money or cash or something, you select it. And here you select the account that it should go to. Then you click on finalize payment. Finalize payments. And then it generates a receipt for you to print. So if you have a thermal printer, you can just print it, and then that will be it. Okay, so let's go back to here. So it's either you can type or you can select. So let's go back to the main dashboard. So it's at settings. Under settings too, you can select if you can enter your tax IDs and all those other things that your business would require. You can decide if certain things are important, like the product expiry. If there's a need to add product expiry information to all the products that you add, then you can come here too, and then select a few options that you feel might be useful to you. You can disable those ones as well. It depends. Then you can come to your tax rates, where you can determine what and what and what would combine to form your taxes on your receipts. Okay.